Good day, fellow champions of inclusion. I'm Aaron, and this is the Inclusive Dad Podcast, where we explore inclusion and make it practical. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join me in exploring ways we can create a more inclusive world together. You are important, you matter, and you can make a difference. Today, my guest is Robert Cardillo. Welcome to the show. Did I pronounce that right?
Thanks for having me. And it's actually Cardillo. I'm
Okay.
Italian. So, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I, I went the Spanish route, and wasn't
Okay.
right.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, thank you so much for being on. Why don't you start me off by telling me a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Well, I'm Robert Cardillo. I go by the name B-Cide. I'm a rapper, author, entrepreneur, and I've been doing rap music for the last 20 years. So I started when I was in high school back in about 1998, and me and these kids kind of formed a group together, Catholic high school, so it wasn't like public school or anything like that.
Sure.
We were kind of rapping about stupid stuff, and we were Howard Stern fans, so it was kind of like goofy kind of rap, and we did all that. They actually made like a song about one of the kids in our class, and he always joked about it, so that was fun. And then after school, and we graduated, I was managing a heavy metal band and getting them shows and stuff like that. But I was still doing my own music in between. And I really took it seriously after high school, and had this little group together with my brother and my other friend Tony, and we called it the DJ's Dudley, and we all wore bandanas thinking that we were like gangsters and stuff, and
Yep.
and definitely we weren't gangsters. So we made this stupid album with stolen beats and stuff like that, and then after that I came out with my own solo album as B-Side. I came out as B-Side, and then came out with my own solo, and then started from there and really got introduced to are you familiar with the Insane Clown Posse at all?
I mean, I've heard of them. I'm not sure I've listened to any of their music.
Okay, you've heard of them, though.
Yep.
So their fans are pretty much like fans of mine, the Juggalo
Okay.
fan base that they have. So that's where I've really cut my teeth and gotten, familiarized with how to tour and do shows and promote and things of that nature. And then in 2011, I got hit with multiple sclerosis. And what happened is I was supposed to have this album that I was going to promote, go on the road. And I was like right there, ready to make it over the hill. And then I got hit with MS. And the doctor that I saw in Utica, New York, they are really not the greatest doctors in the world. So they are like, this doctor was like, oh, just take this shot and you'll be fine. Unfortunately, the shot wasn't working the way that it should have, and I was supposed to be seeing MS specialists. So thanks to my father, actually, he was friends with this family that they had a wing of a hospital named after them in Rochester,
Okay.
New York, and they actually have a very big MS place there that will handle people with MS, and he got me hooked up with them. And ever since then, I've been seeing them, and my doctor is awesome. She's great. They did the same kind of tests on me that they did here in Utica. In Utica, it looked like a 1950s TV from an MRI. And in Rochester, it looked like a full 4K. Just night and day difference from a small city to a bigger city with the medicine and a better background in it. So that is pretty much my story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I live in Minnesota, like we talked about before we started recording, and I live near Rochester, Minnesota, which you've probably heard of from the Mayo Clinic.
Yes.
So we're
Yeah.
like 45 minutes from there.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I was actually in Minnesota before.
Okay.
When I was on the road, we went to the Mall of America before.
Yep.
That's in Minneapolis, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. What'd you think of the Mall of America?
crazy, huge. You know, the amusement park was in it and everything.
Yep.
I couldn't believe that. I'm like, this is pretty crazy, and it was really before like malls started dying out and stuff when I was there. So there was still a, big group of people and stuff like that. It was still packed and stuff. I don't know if it's actually gotten taken over by the fact that malls aren't really that big of a thing anymore.
It's still there. It's still, I haven't been there probably in, the last couple of years I went there to go see a movie, but I usually just go there and walk around and look at people and stuff. It's not,
Gotcha.
the stores that are there are not stores I shop in, so it's more just
People
people
watching.
watching, have
Gotcha.
food or something. So I have
Yeah.
gone on some of the roller coasters. I've gone on like the log ride. So, I have gone on some of that stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. People don't understand there's a log ride in a mall.
Yep.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I don't remember the year it opened, but the first week it opened, my grandparents took me and my brother and sister there, and we ate in one of the restaurants, which I don't think's there anymore. So I was there when like the first week it opened, I think.
Oh wow. Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, that is one of the big things, and it's right across from the airport, so people come into Minneapolis Airport and go there. And in Minnesota, you don't pay sales tax on clothing, so I think people come and buy clothes there sometimes because they don't pay tax on it.
Oh, gotcha.
So,
That's cool.
yeah. So you've been to Minnesota. Where did you perform when you were in Minnesota?
Yeah, we performed there. I can't remember the name of the venue, but I know there was some wrestling. There was some wrestling place that we went to in Minnesota, and that it was some store or whatever, and they had like wrestling masks and belts and all that stuff. I'm a big wrestling fan, so yeah. So we. That's right. Jesse Ventura used to be your governor.
He
Yeah.
was, yeah.
Yeah.
He was, yeah. That was, I think I was actually in college. I think I was because I voted for him when I went to Winona State, and I
Okay.
remember voting for him. So that was a while ago.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
That was a while
Kind
ago.
of, it kind of dates us.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite wrestler?
Favorite wrestler, probably as like a kid growing up, it's definitely Hulk Hogan. Definitely. But like I would say I really don't have a favorite wrestler. I definitely respect all of them, and I think it's really hard what they do, and I don't think they get a lot of credit for it.
Yeah, I didn't really watch a lot of it. The only one I watched a lot, it was I love Bill Goldberg. I don't know if you know Bill Goldberg.
Yep, I do.
I don't even remember who was he. That was when there was like a couple different people or different companies, right? I think they were kind of
it was WCW, WWF, and ECW.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He would just come out and just plow people into the ground.
He would.
He's such a big guy. He was
Yeah.
fun to watch. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what inspired you to write Myelin My Shoes, and how long had you been thinking about telling your story?
Well, I had thought about it. I've been sitting on like things that I've written for about like 5 to 7 years. I've been sitting on some of the stuff. And one day I've been working with my father to work on some type of business deal that we've been doing. And what happened is we kind of got off track of it. And I'm like, I need something to keep my mind busy, because my mind, if I'm not busy, I'm in pain all the time. And for some reason, when I'm working on stuff, my pain kind of goes away. So I'm like, I need to do something. So I'm like, I think now's the time to figure out this book, So I actually had been working with Chat GPT, and I had asked it, I'm like, if I give you information that I've written for chapters and stuff like that. Can you help me edit it down?
Mm-hmm.
And it said yes. So I started working with ChatGPT on this book, and it would help me out just like an editor. I'd feed it all kinds of information, and it would help organize it and things like that. So I was able to come out with full chapters and stuff. And it really, my mom really helped me want to come out with it, because she helped me be, more of a glass half full type of person. And I was being more positive, and she really helped me start seeing the world more positively. And it kind of gave me the drive to write this book. I'm like, I want to do it for other people that have this disease too, and let them know that you can still function and still live a good life, with this disease. And I kind of made it where I started it with my life and went through the whole, my whole life as a rapper. And then when I got diagnosed with it, how I still kept up as a rapper and used my music as therapy. And then I go through living with MS.
Okay. I love
Yeah.
that. Do you know of any other musicians or rappers that have MS or publicly talk about having it?
Yeah, there is one. There's a rapper. His name's Master Ace. He's an old school hip hop guy. I know he has it. There's somebody that is on Drake's label, like somebody that does music for him. Noah 40 or something like that. He's got MS. And then there's this singer. She's married to Grant Hill. Her name is Tamia. And she sings, and she has MS too. And then I'm sure there's more people too.
Right. Grant Hill, like the basketball player?
Basketball player, Grant Hill, yeah.
Okay. That's cool. Can you maybe, for those that don't, have maybe heard the abbreviation MS, maybe explain a little bit about what it is and like how it presents itself in your life?
Sure. MS stands for multiple sclerosis, and it is a neurological disease that eats away at your nerve lining that's called myelin. And the myelin that's around your nerves, it's like an electrical cord. And when it gets frayed, it starts shorting out. So that's pretty much what MS is. It's an autoimmune disease, so your own body is doing this to itself. So that's what MS really is. And it affects people all differently. Some people have their eyesight, their breathing. Some people can't walk. Some people can't move. It completely paralyzes some people. It's different for everybody. And that's what sucks about it, is that it's different for everybody.
Maybe do you want to share a little bit about how it affects you, or how it?
Sure. I actually had noticed in probably about 2004 or 2006, my left arm had been getting numb, and I thought it was a pinched nerve, and I didn't think anything about it, and I just kept living life, And then one time when I got off the road, off tour, I had come back, and then the whole left side of my body was numb and stuff. And I just thought it was more of the pinched nerve. And I'm like, what am I going to do? I was going to a chiropractor, and he was trying to work it out. And then stopped going to the chiropractor. It wasn't doing anything. And then we had ended up going to this Green Day concert, and my legs completely were numb. And I'm like, something's got to be wrong with me, but I didn't really know. And I was even blaming it on food that I ate, because my mouth was numb at one point. I thought it was some spicy food I ate. Then my midsection went numb, and I'm like, I need to get to a doctor. Right. So I saw a doctor, and they sent me to a neurologist, did the tests on me, and then told me I had MS.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did your diagnosis change the trajectory of your life and music career?
Well, at first I didn't really think it was going to do anything, because the neurologist is like, you take these shots and you'll be fine. So I figured I'd be taking these shots and I'd just be all ready to go, and it wasn't going to affect me at all. But then as I noticed that I felt like I was getting progressively worse, that I'm like, oh, damn, I don't know what's going to happen with my music and how I'm going to be able to tour and stuff like that, because I had gotten hit up by one of my friends. It's like, oh, we want to do this whole thing where we're doing a tour and it's across America. And I'm like, I don't think I can do it. I had to pass it up because I had the shots that I was taking. I wasn't really getting better. And the situation that I was in with my fiance wasn't really the greatest. It wasn't the greatest living situation. I was living with her parents and we were living there, and it wasn't really a good situation. And what had happened is we ended up breaking up. It was actually kind of a bad breakup. And after that, I really started getting bad. I moved in with my mom, and that's when I ended up really having to be in a wheelchair full time, unfortunately. And that is kind of how I ended up in the chair.
Okay. So what, for you, like mentally, what was it like going from performing on tour to living with 24-hour care?
Bad. I was not doing well at all mentally, and it really wasn't good. I mean, I would try and write songs and get my mind off it, and that would help. But I really wasn't thinking of things positively. And then my mom stepped in and told me I needed to be more positive, and it totally like flipped a switch in me. And I'm just like, I'm starting to think about life more positively. And, and that's how I'm trying to get through things day by day, is not letting the little stuff get me down anymore.
Yeah, like what kind of things, when you started out thinking about the positive, what were some of the like first things, if you can remember, that you were like thinking about the good stuff? Like, was it something just simple, like, hey, the sun's out today, or what?
Yeah, it's just like little things like, like I woke up today. It's a good day. I'm alive. Yep, the sun's out. It's a good day. I got up. I have an aide get me up with a sit to stand machine.
Okay.
So I'm able to grab onto bars and be up on my own 2 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I'm able to be up on my own 2 feet, get in my wheelchair and start the day. And before, I would just be looking at everything really bad. I'm like, why'd I even wake up today? It's not even worth it, but it is. Any day that you're alive and can experience what life is a good day.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about 55 Strong and how it ties into your personal journey?
Sure. 55 Strong is actually a record label, clothing line, publishing, everything that I do. It's under this umbrella of 55 Strong. We actually make t-shirts and stuff too. So what I did is, there's a line in this Insane Clown Posse song. It says, now I'm in a street gang, 55 strong. Everybody's singing that Southwest song. So what I was trying to do is take that line out of it and then use it for like strength and determination. And that's how we flipped the whole 55 strong thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. What do most people misunderstand about about life with a chronic illness or disability?
I think that a lot of people don't realize that a lot of disabilities are invisible. Mm-hmm. And they treat people, they don't treat people respectfully. I think as human beings, we don't necessarily always treat people respectfully. But that's why I think we should treat people more respectfully, because you never know what somebody's going through. They could be having a bad day, or they could be disabled. They could have something that's totally invisible. You don't need to be in a wheelchair to be disabled. So, if you can just treat everybody good and be in a good light to everybody, it would make the world a better place.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, just treat other people like you want to be treated, or love thy neighbor.
Yep.
I have love thy neighbor tattooed on my arm. It's just, I feel like if we all did that, loved our neighbors like we should, it would be a much better world. So I love that.
Yep. Yep.
What do you want readers to take away from your book, especially those who don't live with MS?
That you can do anything if you put your mind to it, and that no matter what kind of struggle you might be dealing with, it doesn't necessarily have to be a disability. It can just be something stupid that you're going through, and maybe it's just pushing, and maybe it's just trying to keep you back from like what your main goal is. Don't let anything stop you. If you're trying to do music and you can't get the inspiration to try and go through it and actually do it, you can do it. You don't need somebody to tell you, oh, go do this, go do this. No, just take the bull by the horns and go do what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, when you come up with like a new song, what is your process? Does it just come to you, or how do you have to get in the mood to do it, or how does that work?
Yeah, usually what I have to do is I have to listen to a beat, and then the words kind of come to me. Now, some songs happen and I really don't know how they happen. It's the closest thing to God that I can say that I've come, because sometimes I don't know where the words come from. And I'm not talking about the stupid songs that are like a club song or something like that. I'm talking about songs where I'm actually like laying personal stuff down on the table, and I'm just like, I don't know how these words even come out of me sometimes. And that's just, it's just a very weird feeling.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
You dropped a vinyl soundtrack for your book. How did that idea come about, and why does it matter?
Yeah, well, I actually started talking about specific tracks in the book, and it actually happened by accident. So I'm like, I'm going to come out with a soundtrack for the book with these specific songs in it.
Okay.
And what I did is I released it on streaming the same day that the book came out. And then on August 12th, it's actually National Vinyl Record Day.
Okay.
That is when the soundtrack is coming out on vinyl, and I have it up for pre-order right now.
Okay.
So it'll be released on the 12th, but it'll be up there to order and everything. Like, you can pre-order it right now, but once it comes out, then you'll just be able to order it.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, by the time this comes out, it'll be released, so I'll make sure I try to put a link to it in the show notes and stuff. People can order it.
Very cool.
What is your definition of inclusion?
That it doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter about anything. You just need to include everybody. Nothing should matter. It's just like what I was taught as a kid is you don't see what color they are, what kind of anything they have wrong with them. You treat everybody the way you want to be treated. And I think I want to be treated fairly. So I treat everybody else fairly, and I will include anybody. I don't care if you're disabled or not. If you've got ideas and want to share ideas and thoughts, come on in.
Yeah, that's a great definition.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to someone who feels like life has completely knocked them off their path?
It doesn't matter how many times you fall down. You get up more times than you fall down. Mm-hmm. So what I would say is just dust yourself off. Try and look at yourself in the mirror and try and give yourself some motivation, or find some people that can be around you that are supportive and they can help you. You can talk to people about what's going on. It's not bad to talk to people about what's going on. I have friends that I can talk about what's going on with, like one of my best friends, Ken. I can tell him anything that's happening, and he's right there for me. You know, my best friend Evan, he's been there for me through the whole thing, and his dad actually died of ALS, and you know, ALS is pretty close to MS in the way that the cells are and everything. So I told Evan, you know, if I have ALS, we need to figure out something to do with me because it's going to be bad, you know. So I'm like, thank God it was MS and not ALS, because I saw what happened to his father. And yeah, so I would definitely say always just look at things. There could always be something worse that's going on for you.
For sure. Yeah, and there's definitely power in like sharing your story like you're doing, and like I do sometimes, because then you throw it out there, somebody else is like, hey, that's me also, and they find somebody they can connect with and not feel like they're all alone, which is pretty powerful.
Right.
What is one tip you can share to help the listeners be more inclusive today? So just something anybody can start doing today to be more inclusive.
Don't look. You got to look past. You got to look past what might be on the outside. You, like I say, you got to just treat people like how you want to be treated, and just pay them some attention.
Right. Yeah, that's great. We've talked about a lot of stuff. Is there anything you want to talk about that we haven't gotten to?
No, I think we've really covered everything.
Yeah. Have you met the Insane Clown Posse?
Yeah, I actually have met them. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. That was cool. They're cool guys. I actually got a chance to perform with this group, Project Born, that I was on the road with at one of their after parties, and I got to perform inside of their wrestling ring, and it was really cool. It was on Halloween, so it was really a cool experience.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you go to a bunch of concerts, or do you?
I used to. Now I can't. Now it's unfortunately not easy to get out and go to concerts. But I used to love going to concerts and everything.
Yeah, I have a daughter, Cecilia. She's 22, and she uses a power chair. And yeah, she loves music, and it's definitely the last concert we took her to was Post Malone and Jelly Roll at the U.S. Bank Stadium. But it's definitely my girlfriend and I also go to concerts, and it's a way different experience just us two going than when we take her. There's just so many more things to think about and make it work. So
yeah, definitely. But that's cool. I bet that was a good show.
Yeah, it was a good show. That's a bit. I mean, it's the Vikings football stadium, so it's a large facility.
Yeah,
so
that's huge.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like shooting off like flames coming out of the stage. I'm like, aren't we inside of a building? Like, is this? Hopefully, they know what they're doing. And
yeah, right.
But it was fun. Yeah.
Cool.
Where can everybody connect with you?
All you got to do is just go to my website, b-cide.com, and you can find all the information on me. Yeah, you can find me on Spotify. You can find out how to buy my book and everything.
Awesome. I will definitely put that in the show notes also.
Thank you.
Are you ready for the last question?
Absolutely.
Do you like Spam lunch meat? Yes or no?
No. I've had it before, but I'm not a big Spam fan. I like Vienna sausages. They're close to Spam.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever had those.
Oh, no.
No, I don't know. I'm not sure. But yeah, I live near Austin, Minnesota, where they make Spam and where the Spam Museum is located. So I asked all my guests just to see what they say.
Oh, gotcha.
My secret question at the end that I pop on people.
That's absolutely awesome, man. You keep going, AA Ron.
Yeah. Now, if you ever come to Minnesota, you should come down to the Spam Museum. It is pretty fun. They have a lot of history stuff, a lot of cool things.
Cool.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thanks for having me, Aaron.
Absolutely. To those listening, thank you for allowing me to be part of your journey. It is truly an honor. Please join the podcast newsletter by clicking on the link in the episode description to keep up with the latest episodes. Together, we can make the world more inclusive. Until next time, stay empowered and be a champion for inclusion.